Hi Dolores, thanks for joining me. How are you today?
I'm good, Alan, and yourself?
Very well, very well. And today I thought I'd like to actually find out a lot more about respite. It's kind of one of those dark arts. I know very little about it. So I'd be very interested in your experience. And first of all, if you could explain what actually is respite.
Okay, so respite is where your child will go away for a few days to a very safe, either like a home environment or an institute as such, even though they don't like being called that. Somewhere where they'll take really good care of David. And the respite is to give David time away to do his thing and maybe grow in a little bit of independence, and to give us here in the family just a little bit of time to ourselves as well. But
Okay.
it's most important, I think, for David. If David isn't happy, it's pointless.
Okay. And
So,
could you explain to me now, like, it sounds fabulous. It sounds really good. Like, obviously, David now is in his 20s. When did you first get kind of offered respite, or how does that come about?
okay, so David was attending Enable Ireland as an outpatient, and they asked me, would I like to send David to respite and would he like
Okay.
to go? So I said, no, he's much too young. No, no, definitely not. No. So then another year later, they said, David hasn't attended respite yet. Are you going to send him out? Oh God, no, no, no. What would I want that for? No, no. So then after another about year and a half, I think Dave was going on 12 or 13 at this stage. They said, did you think about respite? And I went, no. And they said, you know what? Why don't you come over and see where it would be? And they actually had, because I had a good rapport with the therapists at the time who were recommending it in Enable Ireland, we were able to joke a bit about it. So they were able to say to me, you're impossible. You're the only parent who's been offered this who won't take it. And can you not see the benefits for David, And I was going,
Can I
no,
ask
he's
you?
better off with me,
And
that
what is
way.
it? Is it just your natural instinct as where you want to just keep him in your, in your own house, or is this, why was
I'm
that? Did you?
scared. I'm
Is that what it
scared.
is?
Like, I'm scared leaving him go to people I don't know. I'm scared of the history that we've heard in Ireland about a few
Right.
things.
Yeah.
I'm scared because he's still my baby. Um, no, I'm very blessed, Alan, that David can speak.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Verbally, David can communicate, and he's so solid in that he will be heard. He will explain himself. He'll type it out if he has to. That's my really biggest bonus and blessing, really.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
can imagine how
something
hard, yeah, it would be for other parents if their children can't speak, even how much more of a they have to kind of.
vulnerable. That's all, vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so with that, that's good. And David is good on the phone and good on telephones and
And
good on
what
mobile.
and what does he do then when he's there? Then what's the kind of like? He
So
obviously.
first time I left him, I have to say, as a parent, I was shocking. So I went over to Levana House, it was called, actually, where the respite was, across the road from Enable Ireland in Cork at the time. And I said I wanted to meet all the staff. And they treated me as if they were walking on glass with me. They said to me, why don't you come over at tea time and join all the staff? And some of the users that are here, we'll ask them, do they mind? And I was okay, right. So myself and David did come over for tea there. We checked out the TV room, the bedrooms, the showers. I met most of the staff. We sat down and we had dinner there, myself and David. And I felt so embarrassed for all these thoughts that had come into my head. People were lovely. The place was like a home from home. The other children that are young adults that I met there were also so engaging and so nice to David that I actually was saying to myself, oh God, you put all these people through this, and was there any need for it? And they were all, lots of them were younger than David. I met their parents. The parents were saying, oh, he loves it here. He can do what he likes here. He can go anywhere he wants to, around the town or whatever, with helpers specifically for him. So I listened to it all. I brought David home, you know, and
I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were
I
saying you were
know,
delighted and you just left. No,
I
no.
brought David home, and he was going, I think that's a cool place, Mom. I'm going, I do too, Dave. And I brought him home. And then the next time, like a few days later, they rang me up and said, "Did any feedback? How did I feel about it? How did David feel about it?"
Yeah.
And I said, well, Dave was really happy. It's his mother, really. And they said to me, you know, why don't we allocate just a weekend? We'll tell you exactly what we're going to do after we speak to David. And if you want to come up any night, you can. If you want to take him home, you can. And if you want to stay here, you can. And, you know, they were so lovely to me. And they were actually, we had, as I said, I got to know them pretty well. So we were able to joke about it. And they were able to say, the mother has more issues now than the child. And I was going, yeah, I know. And I said, it's not David who might say he wants to come home. I might be up here. And they were going, and you can. And, you know, the first time he went, I knew the room he stayed in. I had all his stuff with him. And he had a ball. What they actually do in Respite is the ones that I've been used to with David, the ones he decided to go to in the end. They spoil him. They ask him to make a list of what he would like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They will get it in, cook it for him. He may come along and watch them how they do it. He will then decide if he'd like to go out to the city for his lunch instead. They will go, okay, David, sure, no problem. He would say he'd like to go for a spin somewhere in County Cork. And they'd say, no problem, Dave, that's fine. He might say, which he has done, I'd like to go to the pub and watch a match. And they're saying, okay, David, that's fine. And he gets to do whatever he wants.
I can even
restrictions. No restrictions on what time you get up at, what time you go to bed at. Everything is spoke through. It's like now you're going to be completely spoiled for a few days and it's your decision.
Talk to me then. What do you do when David's in respite?
Sleep out.
Is it really that? Is it really recharge your batteries, trying to get yourself going, you know, so you're ready again, is it?
I ring David every day, or he rings me. I have a great rapport with anywhere David is going. That's my way. I like that. So I have all their I have the Respite Centre's number, but they also have a mobile that they bring out with them if they were going out with David. So I can always contact them. So we make an agreement beforehand that they ring me every day to let me know how he is. And if there's any change or anything, they will ring you, and they have done. So I know I can always contact anyone who is with David because they have that phone with them. And I sleep, Alan. I go for walks in the beach. I meet friends for coffee, or say to them, I don't have to be home at a certain time. So I plan things on those days where even with my other two children, you think I had 50 sometimes the way I talk about my kids, I say to them, David's in respite this week, give me a day now and we'll do whatever you want. Or will we go somewhere where you want to go? Because even though most places in Ireland you can bring a wheelchair to, there are certain other things that the kids may want to do that we can do. Or even sometimes they just want to talk at home, bring in their friends. And it's a little bit more as in relaxing, but a little bit more as in they have freedom and I have a bit of freedom. And as I said, I mostly read books and sleep.
So it's like the whole family really benefits. So not only does David benefit, David gets, as you said, sport, and David has a bit of time. And I get the impression that he obviously grows up a bit more as well. He gets more independent every time he would go, because obviously he's making more decisions. He's interacting more with the world. Mum's not there in this kind of way. So,
well, you know what? Now down through the years, because David is 25 now, I can see the benefit of it for Dave.
Yeah.
And I would say to any parent out there, don't be scared like me, and give me a ring if you are, because I can talk you through them. Not convince you to do it, but just tell you the pros, which are more than the cons, to be honest. David always comes back with a new lease of life. Sean and Kate are dying to see him. Yeah. Even the dogs that we have get excited because he's back. The whole house is a buzz again, actually, because that's what David brings to our house. But he comes back telling me all about the things he did. He does gain independence. And what I like as well is he's got other people's influence in his life. And they can see things in David sometimes that I may not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They would say to me, oh, we went to a radio broadcasting that was happening and David wanted to go. And did you know how good he is at this? And did you notice that we did rap music? And he was able to get some of the beat. I'm going, really, because Dave has a profound hearing loss, which he lip reads, and he's brilliant at it and can fool people. And they're going, he got the beat. And so I learned from them as well. And you know, it's really lovely as a parent for all our children, when they ring you afterwards with feedback from David, from me, and from them, they say, you know, Dolores, it was a pleasure to have him. We
Nice
enjoyed
to hear.
every part of his company, his fun, his humor, his bossiness. And when I hear that they get him, it makes me really secure. I'm going back. Once a lady said to me, you know, when he raises that left eyebrow, you know he's up to mischief. I cried, Alan, because I thought I'm the only one who noticed that. And so you can imagine then you are secure when you know all those things going on.
Yeah, and you're quite lucky. Obviously, the providers are excellent that you're dealing with. I suppose they're all that, but they're all well trained and excellent. I think that gives a lot of families, you know, a lot of good information there. And as you said, then if they have questions for you, do get on. Sure, you'd be more delighted to help them that side. Dolores, thanks very much for your time. Bye now.
Thanks, Alan.